Hi everyone, you're welcome. My name is Leslie Hernandez, and today I have an example of how I teach a class in English in San Pascual, number 3. Okay, today we are talking about for the simple future, and then I show how my students speaking English for the topic the simple future. Okay, now I show you for the affirmative sentences and negative sentences. But first, we need to know what is the simple future and how to use for this grammar. Okay, for simple future to use for talk about for the spontaneous decisions. It is used for decision make at the momentum of speaking or to make prediction about the future. When you think something will happen based on what do you know, so the other ways to use is to offer help or make permissions. Use it to express offer, permission, or commitments, and them used to describe future facts or events that are certainly to happen in this time. Okay, for affirmative in the grammar, we need to know for the subject. Remember, subject is she, he, it, we, they, you, plus will. This is for the auxiliary, plus verb in base form. Remember, when I have an auxiliary, the verb is always the base form, plus complement. This is for a little bit example for these affirmative sentences. She will visit your grandparents next week. I will change the subject. For example, I will visit my grandparents next week. Then I to teach for the contraction. Remember the contraction? They have two words, and in this case, we need to use contraction for the combined two words. In this case, is the subject plus the subject and the auxiliary will. For example, when I say I will, in this case for the contraction is I'll. For she will, the contraction is she'll. For he will, the contraction is he'll. For it will, it'll. For you will, you'll. For they will, is they'll. For we will, is will. And remember, is the when I use the way formal, I say I will go to the park tomorrow. But when I use for the contraction, I say that I'll go to the park tomorrow. So when I use subject plus will plus verb in the base form, I use in this case the formal. But if I can say for informal, I use the contraction. Normally, the people use the contraction because they speak informal, so they use normally contractions. Okay. Then now you teach for the negative sentences. Just have for the different you used to need to add the word not. So in the grammar it is subject plus will plus not plus verb in the base form plus complement. That is the different. We need to and not. The other ways to say that is the contraction, use I said want. Will not. The other ways to say that is want. This is for the contraction. For example, she will not visit your grandparent next week. This is the formal. Informal, she won't visit your grandparents next week. So, in the affirmative sentences, you need to say subject, will, verb, and complement. In negative, subject, will, not, plus verb in base form plus complement. Or the other way to say that subject plus want plus verb in the base form and complement. Now this is for the exercise to make a to do right now. We have only 5 sentences. In this case, we used for the scramble sentences. So the instruction is I need to you organize into their correct form because there is in disorder. So we have 5 minutes, 1 minute for the sentences, and then we check if you have the correct sentences. Okay, and finally for this presentation, we need to make your visual travel. I need you create a collage with the different image you could like to visit and in this phrase. What place will you visit in your future? Look at the example. I zoom this part and I make a collage in the center. We have the phrase, what place will you visit in the future? And then when you give your vision travel, we need you explain in class what place will you visit in your future. For example, I will visit to Petén, or I will go to Mexico, or I will travel to Spain. This is for a little bit example. Okay, thank you so much. Now I'll show you what my student spoke with the exercise and use your visual travel. So thank you so much.
I will travel Petén. I will visit France. I will to Canada.
Okay, next.
I will travel to Spanish.
Spain.
Spain. I will visit to Antigua, Guatemala. I will go to El Gran Premio de Mónaco.
Okay, thank you. Next.
I will travel to Antigua, Guatemala. I will visit to Volcán del Pacaya. I will to Isla de Flores, Petén.
Okay, thank you. Next.
I will travel to Las Vegas.
Okay.
I will visit to Colombia.
Uh-huh.
I will go to El Salvador.
Uh-huh. Next. Yes.
I will travel to Russia. I will visit to Russia. I will go to Japan.
Thank you so much. Next. Yes, you. Spain. Mm-hmm. El Salvador. Mm-hmm. Go to. Okay. Next. Okay, thank you. Kimberly. Next, you. No? Okay.
I will travel to Germany. I will visit friends.
Thank you, Gerson. Alan?
I will travel Germany. I will visit to Miami. I will go to Spain.
Spain, Thank you so much. Next.
I will travel to Germany. I will visit to Guatemala City. I will to Colombia.
Okay, thank you. Next, Kevin.
I will travel to Argentina. I will visit Antigua Guatemala. I will visit Paris.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
I will travel to Argentina.
Uh
I
huh.
will visit Israel. I will visit Palacio de Versalles.
Okay, thank you. Next, señorita Ea. ¿No? ¿Sí?
I will travel to Brazil. I will visit to Colombia. I will go to Mexico.
Mexico, okay.
Finally, I will do this workshop with my students. We will practice using the affirmative sentences and negative sentences, and then we'll listen for a few minutes the audio.